Sorry, I must say I'm saddened to hear the rural independents trying to sell snake oil to the Irish public. Here they are coming in saying the government should write a blank cheque to foreign energy producers so that those exporting into our market would have their bills underwritten. That is an outrageous proposal, and I think you've seen the impact that that has had in other countries. They want to further ignore the impact on the future of our planet of wholehearted embracing of fossil fuel burning. That simply will damage the future of the people that you represent. And I strongly advise people to ignore the sort of counsel that's being offered by the rural independents. The truth is the government have struck the right balance in this. It is the ESRI, an independent researcher, who has said that the government's measures in the recent budget will protect people who are at risk of going into energy poverty. They will be protected from that by the measures that the government have introduced, and that is a fact, not something produced by the government. Yes, of course, we're facing huge surges. The wholesale costs for Electric Ireland have risen from 300 million to 2 billion, 7 times increase in the cost of the electricity that they produce and that they have to sell. That's the reality of the world we're living in, and that has been caused by the Ukraine war and by the very high dependence on gas from the Russian market. That's the reality that we face, and the government is approaching this in a way that is prudent, making sure that we protect people but also pursuing these companies who have been making excessive profits. And I would say to the Minister that when the government is striking the appropriate tax for the so-called solidarity contribution, we should go to the high end of the permitted scale, not down at the 33%. And I would also say to wind companies who are being underwritten by 180 euros per megawatt hour price, their contract was at about 90 euros per megawatt hour. There is too much fat being put into those, and we should see wind energy companies making a contribution to help people to adapt to a lower carbon and a lower energy cost world. And I think they should be stepping up to the plate, because in the long term we need to see people supporting renewable energy, supporting the projects that switch us to become less dependent on fossil fuels. And this is a golden opportunity for that sector to show that they are in tune with the needs of the communities they serve, and that they're willing to help people to make the changes in their homes, to make them warmer homes, more efficient homes, to make the changes. And I would say again, Minister, to you, and I've said it to you on a previous occasion, the missing piece in this is a serious government effort to help people to make those changes. We should be focusing in on the shallow retrofits. Today we were told at the Energy Committee that there are 162,000 cavity walls that could be insulated, unfilled cavity walls. They should be the target of early intervention. 50%, we were also told that heat controls have the potential to reduce energy use by 36%. They should be a group eligible for 80% grants. We should be moving to help people to make the changes that reduce energy dependence. And there isn't enough emphasis on the early wins that can be delivered by sharing, by having more EV chargers, by helping people to make those low-cost changes. Now is the time to do that, when people are attending to the needs and the vulnerability of what they're doing. Now is the time to capitalise on that, and I think we need to do more in that sphere.